We've just been to the market in Andratx town, so we thought we'd just come down to the port of Andratx to have a look to see what's going on down here. So we parked up. The car park was pretty full, but we managed to find a little space. Temperatures are really quite mild, so really good for a little walk in the port and look to see what the boats are up to. So come and join us. It's December the 29th, 2021, and we've just got our new restrictions today, which says that you have to wear a mask indoors and outdoors with certain... Well, there are certain exceptions, and one of them is the beach. We're pretty close to the sea here. One is walking out in the country, and the other is it says you should wear them if you're within 1.5 meters of other people. Well, we've got no intention of getting very close to anybody. We're on a wide promenade, there's not too many people around, so mask in hand, just in case. But other than that, we're okay. This is new since we were last here. This is Fernando Garcia Palma, and it is actually dated 2021, so this wasn't here before. 2021. We haven't actually been down to Andratx for quite a while, so it's interesting to see what new things there are.
We've got a art here as well.
And after some really poor weather in November and December, we seem to have settled down with the weather now, and we're back to sort of normal temperatures. It's around about 20 degrees. It's really quite pleasant. Oh, Anita spotted the heart. So this is an opportunity for a photo, and it's made out of iron, and it's encasing the pebbles, so that's actually quite clever. I quite like that. Do you want a photo with a camera as well? And do you want it from that side, so you're looking over towards the sea? So we have let's have a look. You'll be silhouetted a little bit because the sun's actually just... The heart in Palma Nova. Now we know there's a heart here in Andratx, and that too is dated 2021. So nice to see that there's been a little bit of development since we were last here. We're just heading towards the marina, and we'll have a quick look around the boats. Anita's just sending her photograph off to all her friends via WhatsApp, which is generally what she does. So during the winter time, we're still in the middle of winter, but November and December we had some terrible weather, and Andratx was one of the places that was hit a little bit by some of the storms that we've had. But hopefully they've all recovered from that now. It is, as you can see, a very enclosed port between the hills on either side. It's a perfect day today for a walk in the sunshine. Temperatures hovering around 20 degrees Celsius, so really quite mild and relatively normal for the time of year.
I'm coming here noticing some of the blossom is coming out on the almond trees as well.
As we were driving down from the town of Andratx, you could see the almond trees as we were coming down, and just the beginning of the blossom, which is possibly a little bit early. Usually is in full bloom around February, early February, so maybe it's a little bit early, but it's different in different parts of the island, so we'll see. And it's usually white, maybe sometimes a little pinkish, but it's been described as the snow of Mallorca when the almond blossom comes out and all the trees are looking white. It looks like snow. So we're just coming up to the pedestrian entrance to the port, and it looks as though I can already see that people are actually working here today. So even though it is between Christmas and the New Year, many people do take the week off in between. There will be some people working here. Pontoon there closed off, and there's a lot of little sailing dinghies out there, so people enjoying the water. There's a slight breeze, nothing too much. So there's a slight breeze and pleasant temperatures. Well, perfect. You can see lots of the boats being taken out of the water for the winter, and this time of the year that people are working on the boats, getting them ready for the season. A friend of mine who's got a yacht engineering business, yes, they've got a lot of work on at the moment, so
From Manchester.
keeping busy. Registered in Manchester.
The port of Manchester.
Sitting here, sitting Manchester Ship Canal. Bet that would look really smart on the canal. Much better down in Puerto de Andratx. And then we've got the boats here that are used to take the day trippers around the coast. They had a difficult season, well, perhaps no season previous year, but last year they had a bit of a season, and did see that some of them were going out, but hopefully things will change now that we're sort of coming to a pinnacle with this virus, where we've got huge numbers here in Mallorca. The numbers are frighteningly high. Yesterday 2,000 cases were registered, which is ridiculous. Only a few weeks ago they were less than 50, and now they're over 2,000. But this is this Omicron variant of the virus, which seems to spread so easily. So we're just trying to keep our distance, and with those sorts of numbers, you're going to very soon reach a point where a majority of people have had the disease and hopefully recovered, and that will then limit the spread. And I think that's what the scientists are hoping now. So here we've got no new regulations other than masks outdoors, and nothing much else has been limited. There's a lot of self-imposed limitations. So all the clubs that were going to open this weekend for New Year, some of them have decided not to. They've changed their minds, partly because a video went viral of people in BCM, Tito's, having a great time when BCM opened for Christmas, but a lot of people were not wearing masks, and rather than being slapped with a huge fine, the owners of BCM have decided that prudent to close. So they're not going to have their gala evening for New Year, which was planned. But there are some other things going on, some other big events. The one that caught my eye was Sonoma, where they're putting on a gala show, so you can have your dinner and the show, which is excellent. various levels of pricing from about 125 euros a head, which probably for that sort of thing is about right up to the VIPs, which you can spend a lot more money.
Where's that, at Sonnemar?
That's at Sonnemar, yeah. And the show is really fantastic, so I'm sure during the next season we'll be off there again, because it's something that both of us really enjoy. It's a good night out. And
thank you, Angie, for that.
So yeah, we'll look forward to that. The council, Ayuntamiento, normally organises activities, and certainly in Palma they've been cancelled. So what we would quite often do in Palma is to go to Plaza Court, and in Plaza Court there's usually a stage with a DJ, sometimes performers, and we'd go there maybe at about 11:30 at night after having a meal somewhere, and join throngs of other people, thousands, who would be shoulder to shoulder bouncing up and down to the music and waiting for the clock and bells to chime midnight. And it would always be lots of fun. We'd generally meet some friends that we knew. We'd always take a bottle of champagne, and that's how we would welcome the new year. But the council have decided that it's really not so clever, so they've decided that there will be no stage, there will be no organised event in Plaza Court, and I think that could well be repeated throughout the island. So what are our plans for New Year? Well, actually, we don't have any. At the moment, we're toying with the idea of going out for dinner and then returning home and welcoming the new year at home, which we've done in the past, so can't be too bad. Anita usually gets very tired, so probably a good idea.
Not just me, you.
No, me too. Must be an age thing. It's a really beautiful walk here in Puerto de Andratx, Club de Vela. I'm never quite sure whether they've finished building on that hill in front. It seems to be always higher and higher, right up at the top now. Amazing views from up there. I used to visit one where there was an infinity pool looking out over the port. Really quite spectacular.
Was this where somebody lost their purse?
I think it might have been a digital camera.
Oh, camera, yes it was, camera. And Serena was with us.
So I think last time we came down here, the gate was open. It's not open now. And we walked onto the wall and found a digital camera, and we just couldn't find anybody it belonged to, so we ended up handing it in. And if any of you are inclined for a dip, the swimming pool's open, looking nice and clean, but it's not for us. So we're going to head back, and we'll have a look at some other parts of the port when we get round there. So see you in a moment. Bye for now. So we're back to the bridge where we started. We're going to walk over the bridge and just have a little look around the port. The fishing nets are out.
I've even taken my coat off.
It must be warm warm. There's a bit of a breeze now there.
Just put it back on in a minute.
Fine flavours of India. So just as we're walking back, Anita's suggesting that we have an Indian takeaway for New Year's Eve. That could be nice. That could be a nice idea.
Save going out as well.
So we do have things like, is it Just Eat that we use, and
Go something.
Glovo.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's several of these motorbike companies that will deliver the food to your house, so that's quite good.
It's fishing nets.
So this is the working fishing part of Puerto de Andratx, and all the fishing nets and equipment out here, been cleaned, been repaired, and we'll be looking for that next trip out. And fish is very much on the menu here in Puerto de Andratx, as it is in most of the island, but particularly here at the fish market right at hand. Still not very many people around, so I'm avoiding putting my mask on at the moment. Wait until we get a little bit further along where the bars, cafes, restaurants are, and we'll come across a few more people, I think, there. Shade temperature across the road says 18 degrees Celsius, so that's nice and cool. Or warm. Fair enough. The 29th of December, and it's coming up to 1:45, and it's 18 degrees in the shade, but much warmer than that when you get out of the shade and into the sunshine, and it does feel quite a lot warmer. So we've just done a nice walk all the way round to the far end of the marina where the boats are across there, and we'll just have a little walk along the front here where the cafes and bars. Not sure how far we're going to walk. We usually make it to around about Tim's Bar, which is the most famous bar in Puerto de Andratx. At least for us it is anyway. It's one we've known for our entire stay on the island. Tim's no longer there, but they've retained the name. Must be a Top Gear car. It's got its white Christmas tree on the top. You can see lots of the bars along the front here are open. People in there. We met a couple yesterday as we finished our lunch who'd just arrived from Edinburgh, and they've been telling us about the problems they have just to get to Mallorca now. so there are no direct flights from Scotland. So their flight was originally via Amsterdam, and then Amsterdam to Mallorca with KLM, and 48 hours before they were due to leave, they were informed that the flight had been cancelled and they had to make some last minute bookings, which they did, and managed to get flights via Barcelona, yeah, so they did get here, but it meant getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get the plane down. And anyway, hopefully they will have a really nice stay here over the new year. But they've been watching our videos, so pretty much knew what to expect when they got here. This is one of the little beaches that's here in Puerto de Andratx, and it doesn't look very nice at the moment because it's covered in seaweed, which has come from the storms that we've had over the winter, and the local authorities will leave that there to protect the sand that's underneath, because if there's seaweed there, the sand isn't going to get washed away. So when the season starts, they'll remove the seaweed. It actually makes good fertilizer, I'm told, if you leave it so that the rain can wash the salt. No, sometimes it does smell as though it's rotting. We noticed that in Calagamba, but here there was no particular smell at all. But if it makes good fertilizer, then that's fine. I guess they have to make sure that the salt has been washed out of it. So here's the famous Tim's Bar. It is, as expected, very busy. Now, the horses never existed when it was Tim's Bar. In fact, this didn't used to be Tim's Bar, this part. Tim's Bar was the small bar next to it. So that's all new innovations. And we're just heading behind one of the protecting walls for the port, and noticing straight away that there's a few more waves here, and the water's a little bit more choppy. But the little boats are out there on the sea, enjoying a day's sailing at the end of the year. So I think that'll do for our little video here. Let's just thank you for watching, and hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Happy New Year, and bye for now.
Bye.
We've just come down to the car park and noticed this iron water wheel here, or at least the remains of it. It was actually the first iron water wheel introduced into Mallorca from the Spanish mainland during the second decade of the 20th century, so 100 years old, I guess, and that was used to increase the extraction of water, which would irrigate the surrounding area. So that's quite an interesting find. And I noticed on the other side of the car park there is actually another larger structure which looks somewhat similar. So again, thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.